How's it going, YouTube? My name is JoJo, Analytic JoJo. Today I have the top 10 deals, in my opinion, or the top 10 teams that are winners heading into day 3. We're day 3 officially into free agency. I see a lot of losers. There are teams that have made acquisitions that, kind of overpower the losers, but I feel like this year, for what players have been traded for example, LaMelo, Jaylen Brown, they've been traded for a bag of chips. It's highway robberies, in my opinion. I understand contracts come into play and everything, but for what you guys acquire, it's really bad. My first team I want to point out that has won day 3 is the Timberwolves. They signed AO for 5 years and they also traded for LaMelo, but they traded away Julius, Naz Reid, and a couple of firsts, which are in 2030 and up, to acquire those guys. Next team is the Hawks. The reason why I say the Hawks is not just because of the Aaron Wiggins trade just for second round picks. That's literally nothing in my opinion, especially for Aaron Wiggins, who's been a solid player. CJ McCollum, a real good vet, is one of the players I've always liked watching ever since him and Dame were my favorite duo, along with Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan back then. But that's not my point with that. They extended him for 1 year. That is a great vet to have, especially if you're looking back to going into the playoffs with Jalen Johnson and though. Now my Knicks, they're going to be on both of the lists, both winner and loser. The reason why I have them on winning because I'm more in tune with my Knicks. I like the way how we signed Mo and Alvarado for basically nothing, especially after winning the chip. Those are very solid bench pieces, and I can definitely see us developing Mo like how we did Mitch. I hope it turns out better than what we have for Mitch though. The next team up is the Nets. I don't care if they got Jew with that $33 million contract. It's only for 1 year. They didn't even trade nothing. Really? They traded away Nicholas Claxton to the Bulls. That wasn't much. They literally got Jew and a first round pick, and they're only having Jew for 1 year. So you're dealing with MPJ and Jew, and you're just seeing how that goes for a year, and you're not really wasting much. You're still keeping your future first, and you're keeping, the money on your contract books for next offseason. This offseason, yes, it has been a lot of moves, plenty of opportunity to make your roster changes, but I feel like with the way how Brooklyn's going, how stacked the East Division is, specifically Toronto, New York, that division, take another step back, process your team, see how much money you got next offseason, especially with the picks you are keeping too. You guys are set up for the, for the future to make a couple moves or even just draft and develop. I like the way how the Nets is building around. Chicago, besides the draft picks, I'm going to get into draft picks at the end of the offseason. You acquired Nicholas Claxton again for nothing. Next up, the Heat and the Bucks trade. I am on and off with this trade. The reason for that is because I feel like the Bucks could have gotten something a lot better for Giannis. Is it as bad as the Celtics trade? No, not at all. But what you could have got for Giannis, I feel like you could have got a little bit more. And I don't mean a little bit as in just another first. I feel like you could have also got another player off Miami. I know Miami's trying to keep that roster just so they could go on to the playoffs. But if you are trading Giannis, you definitely could have got a little bit more added to it for the Giannis trade. Maybe another first, past 2030, plus another good bench piece. I'm not sure if they have a Euro stash, but I feel like you definitely could have acquired something more for Giannis. Philly, as a Knicks fan, Boston, why the hell did you set up Philly for this type of success knowing they just wasted their bread into Joel Embiid? Like, y'all could have just left them off with VJ and tried acquiring a different player after Giannis, something different. No, you guys traded him for playoff P, podcast P, whatever P.
Ball game.
For $50 million for the next 2 years and only like 2 firsts and 2 seconds for a MVP caliber player and who was also a finals MVP. You traded him to a division rival. Dude, this is just a podcast for podcast swap. Philly though, you guys won. You guys acquired JB for literally nothing. You guys keep the core. I'm pretty sure you guys have that core for another 2 years solidified. The next team up is Boston. The only reason why I have Boston as a winner is because they acquired Quetta and Mitchell Robinson for 3 years. For both of those players for $103 million, and you're locking them up for 3 years. Those are 2 solid bigs you are locking up for $103 million. Is that a pretty decent amount of money? Yes, but for the production that they put up, I feel like that's a lot cheaper than, other bigs that we're dealing with in the NBA. Battle the rest of the East, but for cheap. You got a starting big and a backup big. One's hurt, you have a starting big. You're not dealing with Vucevic. You're not dealing with these old centers or maybe small center like Al Horford. Now you guys got 2 solidified great centers who know how to play their role. So they let JT and, I guess you want to say, playoff P. Also, Philly, you guys also acquired Anthony Simmons for literally nothing. I know he's not really good on defense, but for his playmaking and offense, you guys signed him for cheap. I have Philly and Toronto being come up. Toronto and Philly, they're on the come up. I feel like they're definitely going to make a push, especially if Kawhi can stay healthy and keep playing the way how he plays. I have Boston dropping. The next team up, Trailblazers. You acquired Ja for Chris Murray and Jeremy Grant. Chris Murray, I guess, young player. Jeremy Grant was just to match up the contract with Ja. And you guys didn't give up any pick, not even a second. I heard the Ja Morant trade is a part of like this 3-team trade to basically match up with contracts and everything. Boring. To keep it simple and sweet, you traded Ja for Chris Murray again, a young player, I guess, that they seem valuable, and Jeremy Grant. Trailblazers, that's a win. Yes, you have an overload of guards, Jaden Sharp. All these guys are young besides Dame, and you only signed Dame for the next 3 years, $15 million. No matter if he's hurt or not, you know the production Dame is going to give you. And they also signed Robert Williams for cheap too. The last team I have up as a winner is San Antonio. They acquired Billy Donovan as an assistant coach. I know people don't see that as much, but with their head coach, Greg Pop, implementing that system in that new coach, they went to the finals with Vic and them, that young squad. In my opinion, a great head coach. For assistant coach, to me, that's perfect for San Antonio. Knowing that they're trying to run him back. They also signed Tobias Harris. Those are my top 10 deals or teams heading into day 3. And before I get off, the number 1 winner, or who I should say should be a legend once this player retires, Tobias Harris agent. How does this guy always get bread? I know he's a consistent vet, but for how much he costs, how? All right, have a good day.
And that my 2 cents. Keep the chain, my nigga.